today's gonna be fun. Oi, ladies and gentlethems, welcome back to my channel. Why are my hands down here? Welcome back to my channel. You like that, don't you? What is wrong with me? So, what I was going to do today, which I talked about last week, was I was going to do a character. And I did actually try to map this character out. However, when I had finished with it, I hated it because it did not resemble the character whatsoever. The character in question was Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove. And that became an issue because Yzma is very structural, she's very bony. She's basically a skeleton that has flesh wrapped around. So basically a skeleton wrapped in human bacon?
That is literally what a human is.
Divine. Not on her because she's slightly blue, which means that bacon is off. It didn't work on my face. So I was like, I'm just gonna scrap it and do something else entirely. And that's what this is. So if you actually notice behind me, there is a prop of some sort that will link you to what the character I'm gonna be doing today. If you're a millennial or older, you will know what this character is. If you're younger, so Gen Z and that, why are you here? Because this character is gonna give you a nightmare. And if you can't get it from one of the props behind me, well then you'll get it as soon as I start doing the makeup because it is very recognizable of 90s children television. So with that all being said, let's get fucking into it. So before I started, I have actually got primer on my face and on my eyes. My eyes doesn't really matter, but I like to be secure. I like to be safe. You'll want to either glue down your brows for this or shave your brows off entirely. Purely because I'm using a glue that's not really recommended for the face, but it holds on the prop that I'm going to be using. I've tried using spirit gum, I've tried using Prozade, both of which you have to remove the makeup before you actually put the prop on. So I've actually shaved my brows again so that they're lovely and smooth, as well as my face, except for the beard area because I like my beard so much and I'm not going to look like a stubbed toe. Thank you very much. I shaved my brows off to make sure they're nice and smooth, purely because you're either want to glue your brows down entirely so they're nice and flat, or you want to shave them off, just because the glue I use for one of the prosthetics is so strong it can rip out your eyebrows. So that's why it's best to either get rid of them entirely or cover them entirely, and not just a thin layer of glue. You want to get like a nice thick layer that has protection. The reason I like using Prozade is because it's flexible, but also because it's really easy to work with. Other people like using glue stick. I think glue stick's really difficult, and also because glue stick takes about 15 to 20, 30 minutes to actually get down. Prozade takes 5 minutes, and that's why it's easiest for me. There are alternatives using like brow wax and spirit gum. Those work really well, but again, it takes time. I'm impatient, that's why I stick with Prozade. But that might also be the reason why I shaved my brows off, because that means I can just skip it entirely and start from where I would normally start after I put my brows down. Yes, the glue I'm using is extra strength nail glue for the prosthetic, and the reason for that is purely because nail glue can actually be applied onto makeup, creates a chemical adhesion and doesn't move. I wore the prosthetic with the nail glue last year at Drag World. Drag World was bloody hot. I mean, it was like a greenhouse in there. I think on the day it was about 28 degrees outside, and inside it was probably reaching 30, 31. It was roasting, and the nail glue did not budge at all until we got back to the accommodation, probably like 14 hours after I had applied the prosthetics.
So quick disclaimer here, please do not use nail glue on your face. I know I'm an idiot, but that does not mean that you need to be one too. Nail glue is actually really bad for your skin, and it can cause irritation, burning, and if you get it in your eyes, that is a hospital trip you'll have to make for an emergency. And trust me, going to the hospital dressed as this character will make you die from embarrassment. Please do not put nail glue on your face, be safe, be sensible, and don't be me.
I'm calling them prosthetics just because they technically are, but they're more used for crafts. I have an odd obsession with a certain craft material, so I'm not going to be using foundation today. Instead, I'm going to be using NYX cream color in 2 colors, and I'm going to be mixing one of the colors with a white. That's because I need to get it from a fuchsia into a bright pink tone. Now fuchsia is like a really dark pink. It's almost edging on purple. So I need to add the white to actually bring it to a pink tone that's light enough. The other color is yellow. Now, if these hints are still not getting to you, then oh god, you're in for a fright. Now, because I'm using creams, I actually need to warm them up first. And the best thing you can do is actually put them onto your body or your persons in some way that's actually really close to your body heat. So what I've done is that I've actually kind of sat on them because that helps warm them up. But what you can do is put them into your pockets or put them into like underneath your boobs, in your bra, or in your bra, under your arm, arm, in your crotch, just something where the heat's going to get to it and start to warm it up and loosen up, and that makes it really malleable and really easy to work with. And that's where the makeup spatulas come in handy. This you can get on Amazon or any type of makeup website because they're really affordable. You mostly, oh, mine's bent. Well, ain't that just dandy? The reason I use makeup spatulas is because it's a lot easier to mix on the back of your hand, and it's also a lot easier to scoop it up and apply it to the face. I'll then coat the face using a foundation brush. I used to have a stippling foundation brush, but that kind of went missing and I don't know where I've put it. Kind of annoying because it was actually one of the best brushes to use for cream. And today I'm not going to be painting my BL black because that would just ruin everything. Hang on, I sat on it, so let me just get it out. See this really lovely fuchsia color? That is what we're going to have to take down to a bright pink. So I'm going to go in with this side of my spatula. It's got a bit of a point, and that actually makes it really easy to dig out the product and get very close to the edge of your container. You want about a pea size and a half on the back of your hands because that will help cover everything, at least hopefully. I just wipe any of the excess back of my hand and then I go into the white. This looks like cream cheese. I take out a good bit of white. So that's what I've got on the back of my hand, and now I'm going to mix everything. Now that I'm done mixing, it's actually create this really nice mousse texture with the cream, so it's going to make applying it a lot easier. So that's what is the next step. I'm now going to take my bigger foundation brush and kind of just put it into any of the excess you have in the back of your hand, just to kind of coat it in the colour, and that's going to help with applying everything a bit easier as well. I'm going to get it to be just enough covered, and what I'm going to be doing is coating my entire face, but leaving gaps or dots that make it look like you were slightly diseased. Like massive boils. Let's go with that, that's kind of cute. Ew, I do say I'm rather quite pink, haven't I? Well, now that we're done the pink, let's go with the yellow. So I've already scooped it out on the back of my hand. I'm just going to get it nice and warm. And then I'm going to apply it ever so delicately into certain regions. I'm going to coat the brush in the yellow now. I'm using a lot smaller, almost like a travel foundation brush, just because I think it'll work a lot better. I'm just going to kind of like pat it all into the areas. Don't forget to stretch out your face to help get into all that area, because my face is rather blob-like, so I need to be very careful. My hand looks a bit like it's been diseased. And if you still have no idea who this is, why of course it's the iconic Mr. Blobby. The best thing about the dots is that you don't actually have to be accurate with them. That's basically everything done, and I'm just now going to set it. So the next thing I'm going to do is that I'm going to go over all the pink areas and the yellow spots in a pink and yellow, so that makes the colours more vibrant. And I think for that I'm going to use my new palette called Playhouse from Cult Candy Cosmetics, because we've got the pink that we need, we've got the yellow that we need, and there's also a nice little purple there, which I'm actually going to put into the inner bits of my eyes, so it makes it look more dark and receding. Because when I put the prosthetic eyes on top, it's just going to look horrifying. So I'm going to start out doing the yellow first, because pink can cover yellow, but yellow can't cover pink, and that's how I'm working that. And then I'll do the purple in the eyes because that's the easiest thing to do.
So with the yellow, I'll be using a blending brush, and that's going to help with applying it in a very nice circular motion. With the pink, I'm going to be using a blush brush. This is just to get the pink over a larger area very quickly. And with the purple, I'll be using a packing brush, and that's just to help get into the inner creases of the eyes a lot easier.
Oh. I put the yellow on, I put some pink on, I put the purple in my eyes. Now my eyes look like I've been beaten up. Oh my god, that's so blob-phobic. And then what I did is that I took the Lovey So Mochi palette and I used a really lovely pink tone here. Use that as a little bit of a highlight on the edge and in the middle and down the middle of my face because I want to make myself look more like a round blob. And then I took the gold tone here, which is like a yellow gold, and I used that to highlight the yellow spots to add like a bit of pizzazz to the blob star. Let's do the nose next because that's gonna be fun. Mr. Blobby's nose is basically a circle bulb on his face. What I'm gonna do is take a really tiny brush here and coat a nice red circle using eyeshadow, and then I'll go over with some red glitter to add a bit more pizzazz to it.
For the red, I'm using the color Nocturnal from the Barry M Wildlife palette Pangolin. And as you can see, I've decided to switch the detail brush to one that is a lot easier to use.
For the lip, I just took the detail brush that I used for my nose and just sketched out my lip line and decided to not do my cupid's bow and just create the swollen type lip look. And if you see me laughing, it's because I'm listening to Messy Pod by Mac Does It and Mike MGTV.
Now I'm filling in the nose with the same Nocturnal color. I tried to use a liquid lipstick, but it failed miserably. And for the lips, I'm using a standard liquid lip. It's from Superdrug. It's a Superdrug home brand, and it works wonderful.
In a dark red, almost blood-like color.
And before the liquid lip has dried, and I'm applying red glitter. The glitter I'm using is from Give Face Cosmetics, but I believe NYX, Barry M, and Collection all do red glitters that will work wonderful for this. And for the nose, I'm using glitter glue and applying the glitter glue, then the glitter, and doing it in small sections so that the glue has enough time to dry, but not too much time to dry so that I can't put the glitter on down first.
God, this is so dumb. Blobby, 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 blobby. Now you can see why I put on nail glue. And yes, if it burns, it's doing the job perfectly well. And don't forget the lashes on top. I had to use nail glue on those as well, so that means my lashes are probably fucked. And can I see? I can see below me, yes. If I tilt my eye like this, I can see yous. And like this, I can see yous. If I look straight ahead, no. I can see everything from here down, and if I look at this way, I can see everything from like this radius. It's a hater guard. That's what it is. It's a hater guard. You can only view people that you like. Everyone else is just vanish. Oh my god, the bow tie. Oh, the bow tie is probably my favorite because I made it myself. It's literally yellow felt, white felt, felt tip pins, hot glue, and some Velcro. The hooks of Velcro actually do attach to felt, so that it actually means that the fastening is really straightforward and really simple. But the outfit as well. This is the very first thing that I made, thanks to my mom, thanks Mama Side. It's all hand stitched. It's organza, which I do not recommend if you're hand stitching that as your very first thing because it is a nightmare. I really hope you enjoyed, and I really hope you liked everything that I did in this video. I hope to see you around, especially in my next week's video, whatever the fuck I'm gonna do for that because I don't know yet. And if you hated it, fucking subscribe because when else are you gonna show me your hate? At the moment I can't see it. Where did you go? And if you want to follow me I'll have all my social medias linked in the description below, as well as my website, as well as the place that you can book me. If you want to book me for anything like birthdays, bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs, divorces, weddings, funerals, grievances, breakups, hookups, you can contact me at genacide.bookings@gmail.com. I'll do anything for money. Anything. Pride events especially. Ooh, pride events. Next year, taking bookings now. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Comment, like, subscribe, and ring that bell button so you can get notified every time I upload. So yes, I'll see you around, children.
Everybody now!